Just here with another video. I recently posted some videos, about current events, tariffs, can't even say that word. Sports, and when you think you know something, you start digging and you realize that, like, damn, you don't know nothing. Like, you don't know jack squat of what's really going on, and it was very interesting to me how things are very politicized nowadays. Everything is political, finances, everything. Sports, even sports. It's political. You know, there was recently a trade. The Dallas Mavericks. Traded the best or top 5 player in the league. And it was very political. And you could dig more into the who owns the Dallas Mavericks, and you could see it as like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. And from the gambling, the NBA gambling, they recently got caught, supposedly rigging games or whatever, whatever. I mean, if you didn't know that sports are rigged to a certain extent, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not saying that they're fully rigged, but they're rigged to a certain extent. But yeah, I was just giving my thoughts and opinions on those videos, and I ended up taking them down because I just felt like I really don't know jack squad, and I don't think I'm providing any type of value for it, But a current event that's happening right now, is that the economy is tanking. It's going down. Everything's going down. I think right now it started to go up a little bit. But yeah, everything's going down. Everything's red. Last week, couple days, housing is tanking as well. The real estate market's going down. Everything's going down, And is it political? Probably. It's politicized, probably, to a certain extent. But I saw a video, interesting, very interesting video. It was a video about it was some Bitcoiner. I don't know. He's like a small channel. I think he was part of Swan Bitcoin. I don't know, but he's kind of a small channel. But he makes really good videos. Kind of like George Camel, from Dave Ramsey. Kind of that style of videos. Very like entertaining and funny. And witty, stuff like that. But educational as well. And then he posted a video, and he was talking about the minimum wage in 1920, and he showed a silver dollar from the 1920s or 30s or wherever back in the day that was actually 70-90%, up to 70 to 9% silver. And if you do the math, you could roughly get around 30 to 40 bucks for that silver dollar, give or take, whatever. And let's just say 30. Let's just say 35, down in the middle, 35 or 32 bucks for that silver dollar, And the minimum wage at that time was $1. But now that same silver dollar is worth 30 some dollars, and it was like very interesting, and it's like, started thinking, it's like, damn. So back in the day, obviously we know that obviously life was harder back in the day, but money wasn't that hard though. You minimum wage was $1, and it's the equivalent of 30 some bucks an hour today, and it's kind of with life experience, you could kind of it justifies. If you make around that wage, you could get by, you could get by really good. You could live a really good life, that's around 60K a year, 60K, which is above average. The average salary, I think, is like 50K or something like that. It's probably less, I don't know, whatever it is, you could live a really good life. And I just really started thinking about, like, damn, man, like, money is just broken, you know. Like we work, when we work and we work and we work, you know, and it's a rat race, you know. It's never enough. It's never enough, you know. And right now, you know, they created a technology, you know, Bitcoin. Everybody knows about it, you know, and it was meant to be a currency, you know, but it's not that yet, you know, and it won't be that until maybe, I don't know, like years down the line, until it consumes everything. It has to consume everything, all the equities, you know. Like people use houses, but they don't use them to live in them. They use it as banks, you know. They use it to invest, you know. And housing is not an investment, you know. And but yeah, man, like that, it's pretty much simple, man. I just wanted to, you know, give my opinions on like a lot of financial, you know, videos on the internet, you know, on YouTube, whatever, you know, talking about this, trying to complicate things, you know. And investing is just simple, man. You're not gonna get rich investing, man. You have to start a business. You have to do something. You have to. The only way to get rich is a business, man. It's a business, or getting really, really lucky, you know, speculating, gambling. You're gambling, you know, about 2, 3, 10x's, and you're rich, you know. And it's highly unlikely, man. You're gonna lose your ass. You're gonna lose your money, you know. So it's just best, you know, to dollar cost average into the. It's just simple, man. Just dollar cost average. You don't even have to do Bitcoin. You could do the VOO, you know, VOO, whatever. It's the Vanguard, or the Spider, the SPY. You could track the S&P 500, and it grows to about 10% a year, give or take, you know, which it's just the rate of inflation. You're just not losing any money. Or you can invest in the Nasdaq, the Invesco QQQ, and that actually grows from 15 to 20%. You know, so now you're actually invested, but you're it's more volatile. And obviously, you know, Bitcoin, you know, simple, just dollar cost average. Don't trade it. Avoid trading it, or you know, Ethereum. You know, after Ethereum, you're pushing it. Anything else after Ethereum, you're pushing it. Real estate, the only thing I would say about real estate, man, if you're gonna live in your property, live in it. Don't buy a property for an investment. It is not an investment. Houses were never meant to be investments. They were never meant to be investment. Can they be investments? Yeah, of course. But the way I see it is, it's either you have one house or you have an apartment complex, and it's pretty much impossible to get a house. You know, it's hard. You know, it's hard as hell. You know, but yeah, man, I just don't complicate investing, man. Just dollar cost average into the SPY, the InvestQ, QQQ, Nasdaq, whatever they call it, and Bitcoin. You know, a little bit of Ethereum, and the rest is not. You know, the rest of that stuff, you know, the rest of the cryptos and the penny stocks, or not even stock, like regular stocks, you know, you can make more money, you know, investing in single stocks, you know. But I think it's just, you know, it's a little too complicated, you know, because you have to know who the CEO, who he is, what is the business fundamentals. Like, it's just too much involved in it, you know. And it's just best to like just dollar cost average and don't trade it, you know. The only thing I would say is that when it comes to Bitcoin, it's getting real easy to get a loan on your Bitcoin, you know. And if you could stomach it, you know, the volatility that's on you. But I don't recommend it. But if you do it, you know, there's I know on Coinbase they give you up to 70% loan the value of your Bitcoin. So if you have one big whole Bitcoin, they can loan you $70,000. You know, you just to keep the numbers round. You know, it's most people don't have a whole Bitcoin, but you know, just so you could do the math real easy. And if you do that though, you have to pay interest. You know, and the only thing I would recommend, you know, is if you do decide to do that, you're speculating. because you're wanting the price to go up. You know, you're getting the loan because you feel like right now the everything's down. You know, I think Bitcoins are like 90 some K. I think it ended up going to like 89 something, like under 90. You know, and that's cheap. So I would just say that if you do that, go ahead and buy the asset. You know, and then send it back, because you can't use that stable coins. You know, they give you stable coins, you can't use those stable coins to buy crypto on their platform, so you have to send it to another platform, whatever platform. And if you do, make sure it's a US regulated Kraken, Gemini. I think Gemini has some of the cheapest fees. Gemini, Strike, you know, Cash App, whatever, you know. Just make sure it's US regulated, and do not make the mistake of futures trading, man. If you're gonna futures trade, make sure you trade with like a small portion, man, because it happened like a couple weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, where they just because there's a lot of market manipulation, and it's not just in the stock market, it's also in the crypto market, you know. And yeah, man, and like, you know, just in a nutshell, investing is just simple, man. Don't overcomplicate it. Just invest in the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. You ain't gotta worry about nothing there, you know. Just simple, man. Don't listen to these financial, like everybody was predicting that Bitcoin was supposed to be at 200K and this and that S&P 500 is supposed to be at 7,000. The Nasdaq, the S&P, whatever. That's supposed to be higher, you know, and it's tanking, and it still might hit. You know what I mean? But all I'm trying to do is that don't overcomplicate it. You're not gonna get rich off investing. It's just not gonna happen. You have to make something, you know. But yeah, man, just a video, you know, just in my experience, you know, in my short time here in this world. What I've experienced, maybe somebody else can get value from that. And yeah, man, I like Coinbase, you know, and I've done a little something with Ledin. I didn't like it. It's okay, you know, the interest is kind of high, but the best one has probably been Coinbase. The best app overall is probably Kraken, and the best overall app is probably Cash App, because it's a bank, you know, and then you can buy stocks, you can buy Bitcoin. They just don't do they just do Bitcoin only. And yeah, man, Gemini is pretty good too. It's a pretty good app. I don't know if they're a bank. I know they got a credit card, which is supposed to be, it's okay. It's good. I like it better than the Coinbase one because it's a MasterCard. But yeah, man, just keep it simple. Just a short, well, not that short. I could keep rambling on, but I'm just go ahead and cut it short here. You know, 13 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And yeah, man, just keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things, you know. Remember, man, houses are not investments. They're not investments. And there's way better things to invest in. The S&P 500 goes up 10%, you know. And this comes with like, oh, well, you don't have, I have real estate. Like, I own a property, you know. And it's not what they tell you. You know, it's a pain in the ass, man. You know. But it is what you make of it, you know, whatever, you know. But yeah, man, you know, I'll let y'all go. Keep this short, you know, and I'll see when I can get back.